At some point, I just started rotting. I couldn't tell you when exactly. It was around 2014. Or was that when I just began to be aware? When does one start to rot? Can you not be surrounded by people and be rotting? We're all headed toward death. Maybe everyone rots. But that's what we call cope, buddy boyos. I've had a pretty good streak of good old days lately. More than anything, I think it's just the rain that's got me down. Not to mention, I took a week off for my health. Rotters gotta stay distracted. Keep moving, keep learning. In my case, creating helps. Even if what I create is just for me. Just to hear myself make noise in a world that left me behind years ago. Is there a difference between bad times and rotting? What if you are surrounded by people who don't respect you? Does that mean you are trying, therefore doing something positive? Seems like it all boils down to perspective in the end. Maybe I was rotting when I couldn't accept the truth, and at the point that I stopped trying to fit in was when I began to start living. Maybe the moment that you realize you aren't enough is when the rotting process begins. But the key word there is realize. Maybe you were already rotting even before you realized. Or is it the realization of one's own rot that allows the process to begin? Do we cause rotting by the very perception that we are rotting? Perhaps we were never rotting, and our mind has been transported to a prison of our own making, in which we begin to perceive that we are in fact rotting. What stops the process? A woman? Is it safe to assume that all men who are in relationships are men who are not rotting? Surely happiness exists, but I'll be damned if I never heard of a rotting man tied to a woman. Why do we rot? Is it a punishment? Did God predestine us to rot? Are we unconsciously masochists who chose pain? Think about the media you chose growing up. Some people liked pop music, but you gravitated toward darkness, didn't you? Did that darkness of which you couldn't fathom manifest further darkness down the road? Or are you just attracted to the darkness indefinitely? How much damage has been done? Can you just unchoose this? Is the regular world out there waiting for me? Or have I crafted a prison and sentenced myself to life? What is my suffering doing to the world? Maybe there is a limited supply of suffering, of which I am drawing from, causing less suffering to be left in the world. Maybe my suffering creates more suffering. Or maybe I was just forgotten years ago, and nothing I feel makes any difference at all. Any way you slice it, buddy boyos, something went wrong. And most of us have been aware of that for years, maybe even decades. Ultimately, though I know something went wrong, I also sense that I have evolved. I have emerged from one cocoon, only to realize a bigger one, that at the moment I feel I will never be set free from. A realized human being stuck in a prison of bitterness. Would being presented with the key be your complete undoing, as you realize that you cannot perceive a real solution, and in turn, making the reality that there isn't one? For now, lads, I think I'll just take a hot bath, eat some more veggie stew, and continue to cope. If I've learned anything from this stream of consciousness, it's that you must perceive a possible escape, even if it doesn't truly make a difference. If the problem is unidentified, then so is the solution. Cope.